Hey YouTubey, what's going on? Been a minute, that's for sure. Some great videos put out by friends lately. Very much enjoying it. I've been just commenting. Hadn't made a video. For those of you who don't know, this here's the Soul Pal with the last word. No, I hope not. I feel bad when I comment on Shafe's video. I always feel like I'm a bull in a china shop. I'm like, ah! I can watch a Shafe video and just pick out what it is I don't like about it. I don't know why. I just go right for the kill. It doesn't matter what you say, buddy. I like, if you say up, I'm automatically, my mind's like, oh, what about down? You know, if you said down, you're like, oh, okay, I can see that, which I don't think you've ever actually said. But I think if you did, and you said, oh, I can see that, I guess it is down, I'd be like, oh yeah, well, what about when it's up? It comes down to what we're doing out here, maybe. I know a lot of your videos, you're expressing things and venting, and it's along the lines of your take a stand, and on your videos you present like, oh, this is the way I see it, this is the way it is. You got to dig your heels in and make a stand, as you said, and that works anathema to maybe my personal philosophy, where I can have my stand, I can have my morality. Hopefully my compass is set to true north, metaphorically speaking, but also to have a conversation about where the other side came from, to me, is interesting and can be helpful too if we want to truly win over the people who have an opposing or even dangerous philosophy. If you understand where they're coming from, I believe my opinion is you can better find a way to take it apart and better find a way to win. So that's really what I'm going out for, partly here on YouTube when I'm making videos. I will confess, I've made videos that I present a counterpoint that I don't even, that's not my philosophy, that's not my true thing. I'm just expressing the well, let me reword it. I'm steel manning the opposing argument. An example would be if we took the 1960s that we're discussing right now, and the challenge was to present a case why there needed to be such opposition, present a case as to why people needed to go to work, both members of the household, and then open your mind to that if you're into that sort of challenge. But again, I think we're doing two different things out here, and there's room for that, right? There is, except for the point of, if I put a comment on your video half-ass expressing that from my point of view, and I'm just fucking everything up. Not my intention at all. I look at the 1960s and think about the discussion that we're having, and I wonder why. Why was there a difference? Why are we having this conversation, say, about the 60s versus the 50s? And what is it in our mind that establishes the way we look at the 60s? When I think of the 1960s, I'm thinking of badass cars. I'm thinking of the Vietnam War. I'm thinking of Woodstock. I'm thinking of music, Jimi Hendrix, the advent of how the electric guitar got going. I'm thinking of, like you said, art, like Andy Warhol and all the different stuff. And somewhere in my mind, they're drilled a well from Austin Powers' International Man of Mystery. You know, that just flamboyant Roman Polanski waving fluffy lace shit felt suits from Britain. I don't know. It imprinted on me as a time that really just there's something in my brain, I guess, reserved for the 1960s. Like it's built a campfire and it lives up in there rent free. The Cuban Missile Crisis, John Kennedy, man. Politically speaking, the man was obviously something different in private life, and the Kennedys came to power on the bones of corruption and crime. But if we listen to news interviews and the way JFK talked, man, that's what you need in a leader. Wow. Now, those guys, JFK and LBJ, they weren't actually boomers. It was their kids that were boomers, and I think that's sort of the point, is what did those other people do from the 60s to the 70s? We went from ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. And the way I see it too, and this kind of opposes what Royal Ward Audacity said about some things. There was a shift, and somewhere starting in the 60s, regardless of what JFK said, it changed to what your country can do for you. Why is that? How did it happen, and why is it apparently that is rampant now, that what can your country do for you? Does that go against how our little clique is, you know, or my understanding of where we sit politically? A lot of us are very freedom loving, very conservative, want to be left alone to do our thing. For me, what my country can do for me is leave me the hell alone and protect my freedom. Did we go against that in the 60s? Is that when it started? Or is it like what Janis Joplin's saying, where freedom is just another word for nothing meant to lose? And Chris Christopherson wrote that, I think, and Bobby McGee. Great videos all. Good hearing from everybody, and we'll catch you on the next one.